Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record an op-ed by Purdue President and former Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels, an article entitled "A Genuine Big Idea That Could Fix the Border Problem."
So ordered.
Thank you. Governor Daniels details how a chain of green energy installations could have enormous impact and many possibilities while providing the necessary protective features for a new physical barrier to prevent illegal immigration at our southern border. Thank you to all of you that are here today. I have been waiting to have this conversation. I'm glad to be here as well. And I never miss an opportunity to highlight the groundbreaking things Hoosiers are doing in the state of Indiana. And it gives me a perfect chance today to talk about innovations and why innovations are important and what things are happening in my state as we pioneer in the field of clean and renewable energy. Indiana is a leader in the Midwest when it comes to clean energy solutions. In fact, my home state is home to almost 87,000 clean energy jobs, which spans through a number of different sectors, including clean fuel, advanced grid, renewable energy generation, advanced transportation, and energy efficiency. Even more impressive is that clean energy companies in Indiana saw an addition of nearly 4,000 jobs in the past year alone. Furthermore, we have institutions that are great, like University of Notre Dame, Purdue University, Indiana University, leading the way to research and providing solutions to today's complex environmental challenges that our state and our country have to address. Let's not forget about the rise of solar power use as part of an overarching energy strategies by municipalities in my district, such as Argus and Peru, Indiana. But despite all these positive trends, Democrats in Congress have rallied around this quote-unquote Green New Deal, a radical agenda of overregulation, taxation, and economic stagnation. I think we need a sensible and realistic policy vision for addressing environmental problems here in America, and all the Green Deal would accomplish is rolling back the progress that we've seen in states like mine. Job creation, innovation, things that work. We should be doing everything we can to incentivize growth in the clean energy sector, not putting up roadblocks to those who are trying to reduce their impact on the environment and do the right thing. Mr. Powell, can you go into detail about the types of policies that Congress and this committee should pursue in order to incentivize growth in the clean energy sector, like what I've just described in my home state of Indiana?
Sure. And first, let me say, Congressman, that ClearPath was very pleased to work with the Department of Energy to help launch its Make Nuclear Cool Again effort, which I believe the first event was at the Nuclear Engineering School at Purdue University. So I thank the great state of Indiana.
Absolutely.
Fantastic nuclear engineering facilities for launching that very important initiative. So first, I think we can look back just at what y'all did in the past Congress. You passed historic incentives, beginning in this committee, in both the 45Q tax incentive for carbon capture and sequestration technologies and the expansion and reform of the 45J credit for advanced nuclear technologies, which will potentially put tens of billions of dollars of incentives into two extremely important, highly flexible clean energy technologies. And I think that this can be a model for the sorts of things that this committee can do in the future. I'll come back very quickly to the bill that Congressman Reed and Congressman LaHood introduced this past December, the ESIC tax incentive. I think the core innovation there is that you'd start to think about these not as one-off technology-specific measures, but setting up a permanent structure that would enable generations of new innovative technologies to continuously come in, attempt to prove their market feasibility, bring their costs down, but then steadily ramp off each of those technologies, wean them off of the incentives, prove that they work or don't work, and if they don't work, we move on to the next thing. And we're continuously developing a pipeline of new, clean, high-performing technologies that we can sell around the world.
I appreciate it. And Mr. Powell, you mentioned in your testimony that we have to take an aggressive and comprehensive look at this public-private technological innovation policy to keep making energy cleaner and cheaper. You talk about financing policy must stimulate the breakthrough innovation, needs to expand, continuing to move in the direction of cheap technology options for decarbonization. Why is the carbon tax ill-suited to foster this type of technological breakthrough?
Well, if we're primarily focused on bringing down the cost of innovative new technologies, we would look at things that are specifically focused on those innovative new technologies. And a price on carbon will be a great thing for deploying existing clean energy technologies, but it wouldn't do as much for the innovative technologies.
I appreciate it. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you.
I thank the gentlelady. Let me